Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. Here to bring you some high school baseball action between the visiting Newton South High Lions and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. This game, a rematch of opening day a couple weeks ago. These two teams kicked their season off against one another over at Newton South's place. And it was the hosting Lions that came away with the win to start the season 7-1 over the visiting Warriors. Now we are in Brookline's neck of the woods, and the now hosting Warriors hoping for a different result this time around. Brookline comes into this with a 2-4 record, coming off an 8-3 loss to Sharon High on Wednesday afternoon. So as the visiting team gets ready to take the field for warm-ups, as you just saw, Brookline just finished up their warm-ups, let's take a look at the starting lineups for our two competitors today. We'll start with the visitors who are taking the field now, the Newton South High Lions. Leading off for Newton South, the center fielder, number 22, John Adams. Batting second, the shortstop, number 17, Jacob Feldman. Batting third, the third baseman, number 3, a lot of threes with this guy, Henry Londay. Batting fourth, the left fielder, number 27, Ben Valente. Batting fifth, the pitcher, number 33, Charlie Morris. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 7, Wesley Rivers. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 21, Jackson Harild. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 4, Matt Blanusa. And batting ninth, the designated hitter, number 13, Conor Murphy. Just playing in the field today at first base, number 38, Tyler Wong. So that is the starting lineup for the Newton South High Lions. Adams in center, Feldman at short, Londay at third, Valente in left, Morris on the mound, Rivers in right, Harild behind the plate, Blanusa at second, Murphy the DH, and Wong just in the field playing first. So now let's take a look at the starting lineup for the home team, Brookline High Warriors. Leading off for Brookline, the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Batting second, the first baseman, number 10, Eli Rothman. Batting third, the left fielder, number 7, Daniel Pancho Villa. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 24, Conor Jernigan. Batting fifth, the right fielder, number 20, Harrison Siegel. Batting sixth, the center fielder, number 18, Matt Richardson. Batting seventh, the pitcher, number 21, James Dialchand Erickson. Batting eighth, the shortstop, number 6, Jack Martell. Batting ninth, the third baseman, number 16, Jake Levin. And just playing the field for Brookline today, the starting catcher, number 22, Avery Melton. So that is the starting lineup for the Warriors today. Sawada at second, Rothman at first, Villa in left, Jernigan the DH, Siegel in right, Richardson in center, Dialch and Erickson on the mound, Martell at short, and Levin at third, with Melton behind the plate just playing in the field. So as always, thank you so much for tuning in to my live stream. Again, my name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Happy to bring you live coverage of today's high school baseball game here at Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. As always, remember, if you enjoy the broadcast, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. And of course, if you got anything you want to say, if I'm saying someone's name wrong, if I've got something factually incorrect, or if there's any fun facts you think I ought to know, or if it's just something as simple as saying "Go Warriors" or "Go Lions," or shouting out your favorite player after they make a nice play. Whatever it is you want to say, I encourage you to say it in the live chat. As I said before, this game a rematch of the season opener from all the way back on the 4th. So 18 days ago, these two teams faced off in the first game of the year, and Newton South came away with a pretty convincing 7-1 victory. They had some dominant performances on the mound with the combined efforts of starter Ben Valente and reliever Conor Murphy, as the two of them combined for 15 strikeouts. Murphy being especially effective in his 2 innings of relief. Setting Brookline's hitters down in order, 5 of the last 6 on strikeouts. 5 consecutive strikeouts before ending the game on a pop-up. And that was after Valente gave 5 solid innings as the starter to earn the win. But neither one of them is starting on the mound today. Today, the start goes to number 33, Charlie Morris. He played first base in the season opener, and Brookline fans are more likely to remember him for his bat, as he delivered probably the biggest shot of that evening's festivities, a triple to deep left field that set things up for Brookline starter Jack Martell to be pulled early in the 4th inning. As it so happens, he was replaced by Brookline's starting pitcher for today, James Dialch and Erickson. It was a rough outing for all the Brookline pitchers on that day, and James Dialch and Erickson was no exception. In 2+ innings of relief, he gave up 3 earned runs on 1 hit and 3 walks while striking out 1. So he'll definitely be hoping for a different result this time around. You can see the Newton South Lions finishing up their warm-ups. So soon the players should be taking the field, and this game should be starting any minute now. Once again, the visiting Newton South High Lions taking on the hosting Brookline High Warriors in a rematch of opening day from 18 days ago. for Newton South, the starting lineup: John Adams in center field, Jacob Feldman at short, Henry Londay at third, Ben Valente in left, Charlie Morris on the mound, Wesley Rivers in right, Jackson Harild behind the plate, Matt Blanusa at second, Conor Murphy the DH, and Tyler Wong just playing the field at first. For Brookline, Keenan Sawada at second, Eli Rothman at first, Daniel Villa in left, Connor Jernigan the DH, Harrison Siegel in right, Matt Richardson in center, James Erickson on the mound, Jack Martell at short, Jake Levin at third, and Avery Melton just playing the field behind the plate. So here come the Warriors as they get ready to take the field. Due up for Newton South here in the top of the first will be John Adams, Jacob Feldman, and Henry Londay. John Adams on the season opener against Brookline, he went 1 for 3 with a walk, a steal, a strikeout, and 2 RBI. Feldman himself went 0 for 2 with a pair of walks and a run scored, while Londay was actually a pinch hitter who came in replacing Wesley Rivers midway through the game. He finished 2 for 2 with a run scored. Some decidedly different lineups for both teams today. You know, we've now played about a half dozen games. Coaches getting a better sense of what they've got in their players. So we'll see what the current forms of these teams look like. James Erickson returning to the mound for just his second start. This will be his third pitching outing, but his second start. His last pitching appearance was out in Framingham. That was back on the 11th. He took the loss, but that really in spite of a pretty solid outing, as he pitched 5 innings, gave up 3 runs, 2 earned, on 5 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. So still looking for his first winning effort on the mound, as his only other appearance was that relief effort against Newton South on opening day. And as I said before, in that one, he went 2+ innings, giving up 3 earned runs on 1 hit and 3 walks while striking out 1. Brookline breaking the huddle in the infield. Erickson having one last word with his catcher, Avery Melton. Who is not number 22, he is number 4, so that was slightly wrong on my roster, but that's all right. You know, coach might have been weighing the decisions between Melton and number 22, Ben Doctoroff, who has started a number of games behind the plate. Melton's last start was actually also the Framingham game. That's the only game he's appeared in so far. And once again, he's paired in the battery with Erickson. So stepping into the plate to lead things off for Newton South, the center fielder, number 22, John Adams. The Brookline pitcher, James Derrickson, on the mound. We are ready for the first pitch of this ball game. And the first pitch is connected on. It's blooped into shallow center. Richardson comes in and snags it. 1 pitch, 1 out for the Warriors. And you know they got to be happy about that. Now coming up, the shortstop, number 17, Jacob Feldman. First pitch is in there for strike 1. And this pitch connected on and fouled right over to the Brookline benches, just barely dodged by Brookline head coach Brendan O'Connor for strike 2. Quick 0-2 count to Feldman. 0-2 pitch comes in high. That'll be ball 1. A little bit of a breeze here at Warren. You can probably hear a little bit on my mic. 1-2 pitch. In there, strike 3. Good start for Brookline. Now due up the third baseman, number 3, Henry Londay. First pitch is inside for ball 1. Londay, like I said, was a pinch hitter last time against Brookline. He went 2 for 2 with a run scored. And he takes this pitch at the high end of the zone for strike 1. Now the 1-1 misses just high for ball 2. Now the 2-1 makes contact. Hard grounder scooped up easily by Eli Rothman, and he'll take it himself. 1, 2, 3. The Lions go down in order in the top of the first. Derrickson making quick work of the first 3 hitters. And, you know, some credit has got to be given to Eli Rothman, the first baseman. I know he made that look easy, but I mean, this is the high school level. We're not playing on turf here. There's no such thing as a routine ground out at the high school level, especially not on a fast, low bouncing grounder like that one. Due up for Brookline here in the bottom of the first will be Keenan, Sawada, Eli Rothman, and Daniel Villa. All 3 of them were starters in the season opener. Sawada was batting out of the 9 spot on opening day. He went 0 for 2 with a walk, a stolen base, and Brookline's only run scored. Villa was batting in the 2 spot last time. He went 0 for 2 with a strikeout, while Eli Rothman was number 3 in the order on the season opener. He went 1 for 2 with an infield single and a strikeout. Rothman's hit just 1 of 2 hits for Brookline's whole team combined against that pitching duo of Valente and Murphy. Today they are facing number 33, Charlie Morris, on the mound. Warm-up throws come to an end, and we are ready to start the bottom of the first inning. Leading off for the Warriors, the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Brookline facing the rare lefty pitcher here with Morris today. Here comes the first pitch. Drops low for ball 1. This one, he slices it. It's going into left, and that's going to drop in fair territory. A clean single for Keenan Sawada. He starts to race to second, but the fielders hold him. Just like that, Brookline has half as many hits as they had the last time they faced Newton South. Now up, the first baseman, number 10, Eli Rothman. First pitch is a strike. Catcher lost it, and Sawada is taking off to second. Just like that. A runner in scoring position now for Brookline here in the first inning. The 0-1 pitch to Rothman comes in high. The catcher dropped the ball again. Morris checks on Sawada. Now the 1-1 in there for strike 2. Again, Morris checks a couple times, and now that's, I think they just called a balk. Or did they know that there was a timeout called? For a second, I thought it was a balk. I mean, never can tell. The 1-2 pitch. Rothman, a delayed swing, hits a grounder over to short, fielded by Feldman, thrown to first, and that'll be an out. It will move Sawada to third, however. Brookline just 90 feet away from the first run and the lead with 1 down. And the heart of the lineup coming up. Coming up now, the left fielder, number 7, Daniel Villa. First pitch, high and outside, ball 1. One-0 pitch comes in low, is blocked by Harild. He's got to be careful. He let one pitch pop out of his glove and get away from him, and because of it, Sawada is now in scoring position. 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss from Villa, strike 1. Two and one the count, 1 out, runner on third. Pitch from Morris. Villa hits a swing, it's a dribbler right back to Morris. He's going to check the runner at third and throw to first. Good defensive instincts by the pitcher, as he holds the runner at third, and now a very different situation. With 2 down and a runner on third, Morris can just focus on the hitter, and that hitter is the designated hitter, number 24, Conor Jernigan. First pitch, in there for strike 1. Back on opening day, Jernigan only saw the plate once as a pinch hitter filling in for Rothman. He went 0 for 1 with a strikeout. 0-1 pitch. He hits a dribbler foul down the third base line, 0-2. Since that game, Jernigan has proven to be a strong member of the Brookline lineup. He leads the team with 4 RBIs. And I believe he's batting 5 for 15 for the season so far. The 0-2 pitch makes contact right at the third baseman. The leaping grab by Henry Londay saves a run for the Lions. And we have no score on either side in the first inning. Through 1 here at Warren Field. It is Brookline 0, Newton South 0. Brookline gets a runner all the way to third, but no further. Due up against Dialch and Erickson will be the 4, 5, 6 hitters for Newton South. Ben Valente, Charlie Morris, and Wesley Rivers. Dialch and Erickson back on the mound for Brookline after a pretty dominant 1-2-3 first inning. Now facing the cleanup hitter and left fielder, number 27, Ben Valente. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Next pitch is high for ball 2. Now the 2-0 pitch. That one's in there for strike 1. And another one for strike 2. Two-two pitch, and he gets contact as a grounder. It's fair, but scooped up by Rothman for another unassisted force out. That one was a weird dribbler. You weren't sure if it was going to go foul at any point. Hopped over the bag, so it was technically fair, but Rothman stayed on top of it for the first out. Now up the pitcher, number 33, Charlie Morris. This one is low. Missed the first pitch, but I think it was a ball. I might have that wrong. That pitch is a strike. So it's either 2-1 or 1-2. My guess is 2-1. Umpire not signaling the full count, as that one is low. 3-1. Okay, I did have the count right. 3-1, the count to Morris. And that pitch misses just outside. That's going to be ball 4. Morris trots down to first. The first base runner of the day for the Lions. And up comes the right fielder, number 7, Wesley Rivers. Morris leading off from first. First pitch is sliced to the backstop for strike 1. Rivers against Brookline only had 1 plate appearance on opening day. He was 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And Morris taking off. Pitch comes in high for a ball. Melton throws it down to second, and Morris is going to slide in safely. And it looks like they called time. For a second, I thought they might be bringing in a pinch runner, which would have been weird, but no, they are sticking with Morris after the stolen base. 1-1 is the count. That pitch is low for ball 2. Two and 1 the count. 1 out, runner on second. Delchin Erickson checks on Morris. Checks again and delivers. And this one is popped high. It's staying in the infield. Martell is calling for it and backtracks to snag it. Had to make some last-second adjustments there, but he ultimately makes the grab for out number 2. Now up, the catcher, number 21, Jackson Harild. First pitch runner takes off, and Melton juggles the ball. Brief meeting between Delchin Erickson and Melton. Melton's someone to keep an eye on. He left the Framingham game with a hand injury. So when you see plays like that, you can't help but feel a little bit of concern. Newton South's first runner now 90 feet from home plate. Pitch skips away from Melton. Runners coming in. Melton can't get it there in time, and that'll be the first run of the game. A pair of pitches and a pair of steals get Morris across the plate with the game's first run. First one was juggled in the hands of Melton. Second one got away from Melton and got Morris across the plate. That one misses outside. 3-0 now the count. That pitch misses. I think the first pitch might have actually been a strike, so that was my mistake. Slight correction here. Count is 3-1. That one misses, though, and that's going to be ball 4. So Harild draws the walk. And now up will be the second baseman, number 4, Matt Blanusa. First pitch misses outside for ball 1. Delchin Erickson taking noticeably longer in this inning than the last one. Next pitch is in there for strike 1. Blanusa, the last time against Brookline, he went 0 for 2 with a walk, a strikeout, a run scored, and an RBI. This pitch is a big swing and a miss for strike 2. Harild taking a noticeable lead off first there. Naturally, he's got to run on contact, so when he sees a swing, he has to make a bit of a jump. The 1-2 misses low and away for ball 2. 2-2 the count, 2 down, runner at first. Dialchand Erickson checks the runner. Now the pitch, makes contact, hard grounder, fielded by Martell, thrown to first, and they get him in time. That will end the top of the first, or the top of the second, excuse me, with the 6-3 ground out. But Newton South gets on the board first, courtesy of a walk, a pair of steals, and a wild pitch. So no hits so far for Newton South, but they have their first run on the board. It shows you just how valuable base running is here at the high school level. You know, I know a lot of baseball traditionalists kind of bemoan the loss of value of the stolen base at the professional level, but here at the high school level, the strength and value of good base running is alive and well. And you saw a prime example of it there in that last half inning. Due up for Brookline here in the bottom of the second will be the 5, 6, 7 hitters, Harrison Siegel, Matt Richardson, and James Dialchand Erickson. Charlie Morris returns to the mound. He got into a small jam in the bottom of the first, a leadoff single, and then runner went to second on what I guess you could call a passed ball. Put a runner on second with nobody out, but Morris sent the last 3 hitters down in order. A pair of groundouts and a really nice leaping catch at the hot corner by Henry Londay to rob Jernigan of a hit that would have brought in the game's first run. Now coming up here in the bottom of the second, the right fielder, number 20, Harrison Siegel. First pitch, and it's fouled to the backstop for strike 1. Like Jernigan, Siegel only coming in for 1 plate appearance as a pinch hitter on opening day, but he made the most of it with an RBI single through the left gap that drove in Sawada for Brookline's first run of the season. 0-1 pitch, misses outside. And like Jernigan, Siegel has now become a mainstay in the Brookline batting order. He's so far batting 5 for 13 with a double, 2 walks, a steal, 5 strikeouts, and 3 RBI, as he takes strike 2 right there. Those 3 RBI tied for second on the team behind Jernigan in a tie with Dialchand Erickson, who is due up later this inning. 1-2 pitch, misses low and away for ball 2. Two-two pitch, delayed swing, but he places it perfectly into left field. Brookline has their second straight leadoff single. Now coming up, the center fielder, number 18, Matt Richardson. Interestingly enough, Richardson was a starter in the season opener against Newton South. He went 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch and 2 strikeouts. Since then, he's only started in 1 other game, and that was Wednesday's game against Sharon. Now here he is with nobody out and a runner on first. Morris the pitch, in there for strike 1. Siegel's got to be careful taking a lead off of first base in this situation. he is facing a lefty pitcher. They can make that quick pickoff throw if you're not careful. And there it is, and they got him. I said you got to be careful, and Siegel was not careful enough there. Just like that, they go from a runner on first and nobody out to nobody on and one out with one quick flick of the wrist by Charlie Morris. That pitch is in there for a strike. Forgot to mark the first pitch, but I think the first one was a ball. So I believe the count is 1-1. And Richardson golfs this one out to center. Center fielder on his horse and makes the grab. Good contact by Richardson, but not in the place he needed it. And that'll be out number 2. Now with 2 outs and nobody on, up comes the pitcher, number 21, James Dialchand Erickson. Last time these two pitchers faced off, Morris drew a walk and then came around the bases for what is so far the game's only run. First pitch to Dialchand Erickson is a strike. Dialchand Erickson did come in as a relief pitcher last time these two teams faced off, but didn't stay on the mound long enough to get a plate appearance, as this one comes in high for ball 1. For the season so far, Dialchand Erickson is 4 for 17 with a double, 3 steals, 3 strikeouts, 2 runs scored, and 3 RBIs. This one skips in the dirt for ball 2. And a big swing and a miss. Fooled him with, I think it might have been a slider on that one. That one just sort of dropped off the table at the last possible second. 2-2 the count. As that one just drops a little bit too low, and that will load the count at 3-2. Full count, 2 outs. Here comes the payoff pitch. Dialchand Erickson swings, hits a grounder. It's a long throw for the shortstop. He just beats it. It was a long throw to be made for Feldman. And Dialchand Erickson, one of the faster members of the Warriors. Nonetheless, a very close play at first. He is called safe. So that'll put a runner back on first with 2 down now. And up comes the shortstop, number 6, Jack Martell. Martell was the starting pitcher against Newton South on opening day. He got pulled early in the 4th inning and ended up with the loss. As he slices the first pitch high into shallow left, fielder's backtracking and the shortstop has it. Brookline gets a pair of hits in the second. They have already surpassed their hit total for the entire game back on the 4th, but it has not resulted in any scores as of yet. Despite 3 hits through the first 2 innings, Brookline scoreless, and Newton South not scoreless, despite having 0 hits through the first 2 innings. The Lions hold a 1-0 lead over the Warriors. Due up for Newton South will be the 9-1-2 hitters, Conor Murphy, and then back round top to Adams and Feldman. Conor Murphy, this will be his first plate appearance against Brookline. He did show up for a relief pitching appearance for Newton South last time. And like I said, delivered one heck of a relief outing. 2 shutout, 2 perfect innings. 6 up, 6 down. The first 5 on strikes. As he combined with Valente for 15 strikeouts over the course of the entire 7 innings. That said, he never got a plate appearance. And now here he is, the designated hitter, leading us off here in the top of the 3rd. Dialchand Eriksson returns to the mound for his 3rd inning of work. First pitch is a high bouncer over the pitcher, and it gets past Martell. That one is a weird hopper. Hard to say what you'd score that as. Either an E6 or an infield single. But whatever it is, it puts a runner at first with nobody out. As we cycle back to the top of the order with John Adams. He shows bunt, but fouls it. That'll make it an 0-1 count. Newton South trying to add to their 1-0 lead. Here in the top of the 3rd, they got a runner on first and nobody out. Dialchand Eriksson checks the runner. And now turns around to throw to first. He doesn't quite have the same advantage on pickoff attempts that Morris does. We saw what Morris was able to do with a pickoff move, as now the bunt is laid down at the 3rd baseline, picked up, thrown to first, and they call safe. A bunt single for Adams. Now up with runners on first and second, the shortstop number 17, Jacob Feldman. And a turnaround to throw to second, but Murphy gets back safely. Feldman, his last time up, he struck out. And he tries to show bunt, and he chops it foul. Runners at first and second, nobody out. And a turnaround check second. And just keep Murphy honest, as he represents a potential run number 2 for Newton South, standing in scoring position. Now the pitch shows bunt, lays it down. Dialchand Eriksson is not going to be able to make the throw in time. Back-to-back bunt singles for Newton South. Now the bases loaded with nobody out, and up comes number 3, Henry Londay. First pitch, he makes hard contact. That's into the outfield. That's going to bring in 2. 2 runs in quickly, and Feldman goes down to third. A 2-run single to right center for Henry Londay. It's been a rough inning for Dialch and Erickson. You start with the weird hop on the grounder by Murphy that got over Dialch and Erickson's head off a weird bounce and then skipped low past Martell to put the leadoff man at first. And then back-to-back bunts that both reach safely to load the bases. And then finally one big crack of the bat from Londay puts 2 runners across. Now up is Ben Valente. Londay taking off on the first pitch. Throw down to second is cut off by Martell. I think that pitch was called a ball, but Londay gets down to second. Runners at second and third now with nobody out. And this is a long fly to the outfield for Valente. Richardson tracking it. He's got the grab, but the runners tag. And that's going to be an easy score for Feldman on the sacrifice fly by Valente. So that'll make it 4-0. Runner on third, 1 down, and up comes the pitcher, Charlie Morris. First pitch is a big swing and a miss for strike 1. Morris, of course, drew a free pass his last time up and then came all the way around without any ball in play. This one comes in high for ball 1. 1 out. Londay stands at third. That one inside for ball 2. Two and one, big swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1 out, runner at third, a 2-2 count to Morris. Two-two pitch comes in low. That'll be ball 3. Count now full. Payoff pitch. Hard contact foul down the third base side. Count remains full. Another payoff pitch. This one skied out to left and once again foul. Morris putting up a fight here with a full count, 1 out and a runner at third. His team already up 4-0. And there's a swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Dialch and Erickson to get out number 2. Now up is the right fielder, number 7, Wesley Rivers. First pitch skips in, but is blocked by Melton for ball 1. Rivers, his last time up, he popped out to short. Now the 1-0, he slices it foul for strike 1. And this one, he hits a grounder over to Martell. Thrown to first and scooped up by Rothman. And he kept his foot on the bag. They checked to make sure, but that will be a 6-3 ground out. One of the more difficult 6-3 ground outs you're going to see. But a nice scoop by Rothman at first does end the inning. And that's got to be a rough inning for a pitcher. I mean, really only one particularly hard hit ball. I mean, outside of the single from Londay, I mean, you've got one that was just kind of a fluke hopper and a pair of bunt singles where the infield just wasn't fast enough. Then you got the hard single and you got a sac fly. And that's where all the runs came from. Credit to Dialchin Derrickson, he settled down and got out of the inning before things could continue to get out of hand. But nonetheless, he is now, he and his team are now trailing 4-0 as we head into the bottom of the third inning. Due up for Brookline will be the 9-1-2 hitters, Jake Levin, Keenan Sawada, and Eli Rothman. Jake Levin was the starting shortstop for Brookline on opening day, only had 2 plate appearances as he got pulled for some defensive shuffling after a relief pitcher was brought in. He finished the day 0 for 1 with a walk, a stolen base, and a strikeout. Since then, Levin has only had 1 other plate appearance, as he is so far 0 for 2 with a walk, a stolen base, and a strikeout. Now up at the plate against Charlie Morris, back out for his 3rd inning of work. And got a timeout called before the first pitch of the inning. Now the first pitch from Morris. A delayed swing. He might have gotten a piece of it. But either way, that's going to be strike 1. And a swing and a miss, that's going to be strike 2. Now the 0-2. And this time he makes contact. It's chased down by Londay and a throw to first. What a day defensively for Henry Londay so far over at the hot corner. I mean, he had to reach for that one. That combined with his 2-run hit, Londay is having himself a day. And now Brookline's got 1 out and nobody on for the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Pitch, he shows bunt but pulls back as that pitch misses for ball 1. Sawada, his last time up, he got a single to left, advanced all the way to third but was stranded. He makes hard contact, it skips past the first baseman and into right field. Sawada reaches first. Again, one of those that's going to be a judgment call on the stat keepers, whether you call that an error or a base hit. Either way, it's a runner at first as the wind gusts through. Runner at first, 1 out, and up comes Eli Rothman. Check back to first. Sawada knows he has to be wary of the southpaw pitcher Morris after seeing him pick off his teammate Harrison Siegel back in the second inning. Pitch in there for strike 1 to Rothman. Rothman, his last time up, he grounded out to the shortstop, did advance Sawada to third on the play, but not much else. Oh, they faked him out again. Sawada taking off. He's caught in the pickle. He's trying to run it back and forth. He's making him work for it. Sawada still going back and forth. Still dancing. And he can't get around the tag. He's out. Two pickoffs today for Charlie Morris. Taking good advantage of that southpaw edge on the pickoff move. Brookline just has not been ready for it. Now the 0-1 pitch to Rothman. In there for strike 2. Oh-2 pitch. Comes in low for ball 1. One-two pitch. Rothman golfs it out to left, and that's going to be a can of corn for the left fielder, and that's going to end the inning. Through 3, the score here at Warren Field. Newton South 4, Brookline 0. As we head into this third intermission, I'm happy to tell you that this broadcast is brought to you in part by Harvest Wealth Management of Needham, Massachusetts. Harvest Wealth Management is a full-service financial planning firm. They specialize in helping families with college-bound children maximize their financial aid and utilize other tax-driven strategies to reduce college costs. Harvest Wealth Management believes it is not about saving more for college, but paying less. So don't stress. Call Oliver Shawley at Harvest Wealth Management, 781-902-0981, and ask for a complimentary meeting, or visit them online at harvestwm.com. Advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, a registered investment advisor. And remember, you can check out the description section for all the information you need about our sponsor, Harvest Wealth Management. And if you know of any local businesses that you think might be interested in sponsoring these broadcasts, tell them to reach out to me. You can find my email address in the bottom right corner of your screen. First pitch to Jackson Harild is going to miss for ball 1. 1-0. In there for strike 1. 1-1 pitch is high. Two-one pitch. There's contact. It's dribbler to third, picked up by Levin. Rifle to first, and just barely makes it in time for the first out. Again, those Newton South base runners making it anything but easy for the Brookline defense. I mean, it really has just been base running that's been the difference today. I mean, Brookline's put a number of good bats on the ball, but the effort of Charlie Morris on the pickoffs has been spectacular as Matt Blanusa fouls off the first pitch for strike one. Meanwhile, on the flip side, we've only got one really good hit ball on Newton South's side, and that was Londay's single. And aside from that, you know, it's a pair of bunt singles and a fluky bounce off the mound. As that one comes in high for ball one. But see, that's the thing. Like, the way I say it, it sounds like I'm taking credit away from Newton South, but their base running has been spectacular. I mean, their first run, they got off a walk, 2 steals and a wild pitch. As that one comes in inside for ball two. And then the next one, again, they used their feet to get 3 runners on. And then the one big hit was really all they needed, as this one's a dribbler over to third and just foul. Two and two now, the count to Blanusa. So again, like I said, the baseball traditionalists may be sad that the pro level doesn't recognize the importance of base running as much as it used to. But here at the high school level, the value of good base running is alive and thriving. As this one is golfed out to right center, and it's tracked well by Richardson for out number 2. Now Conor Murphy at the plate. He takes the first one for strike one. Of course, it was Murphy who started that rally in the 3rd inning with that weird high bouncing grounder. Got past everybody and into the outfield as this one comes in high for ball one. Again, one of those plays where as a stat keeper, you have to make a judgment call because Martell had a chance at the ball, but it came in low past him as this one's a hard hit through the gap. Chased down by Martell. Long throw is definitely not getting there in time. And there's no question on that one. That one is just an infield single. I mean, you really would have had to been like Nomar or Jeter if you were going to stop that one. So now 2 down and a runner at first. John Adams up at the plate. Last time up, he got the bunt single. But this time not showing bunt as he takes ball one. You know, it's funny because at the time it seemed like Newton South was trying to go for a sac bunt on back-to-back at-bats, but both guys simply reached first safely for a single. As Dielchen Erickson throws down to first. You know, it's another thing that Newton South is sort of taking advantage of the lefty advantage, this time at the plate, as both Adams and Feldman have a shorter path to first base after dropping the bunt. Adams takes a swing and golfs this one out to right. Siegel on his horse, and he's got it for out number 3. That will end the top of the 4th inning. No damage done by Newton South in that frame. But Brookline is going to need to do some damage soon if they want to get back into this thing. The score through 3 1/2 Newton South 4, Brookline 0. As we get ready for the start of the bottom of the 4th inning, Morris returns to the mound. He'll face the 3, 4, 5 hitters for Brookline, Daniel Villa, Connor Jernigan, and Harrison Siegel. Now stepping in first is the left fielder, number 7, Daniel Pancho Villa. His last time up, Villa grounded out to the pitcher and was not able to advance Sawada from third. First pitch comes in there for strike 1. The mix of speeds from Morris, you can tell the Brookline hitters are kind of off balance. Even some of their good contact has come on these awkward delayed swings, as this one fools Villa for strike 2. Now the 0-2 pitch. And a check swing foul by Villa stays alive at 0-2. You know, again, just from these 3 sample pitches to start this inning, you can see what I'm talking about with how Morris is keeping the hitters off balance. Now this one, he hits a dribbler over to third, scooped up by Londay, rifled to first, not in time. Villa legs out the infield hit. But now the real test for Villa will be staying safe at first base. We've seen 2 Brookline runners picked off by Charlie Morris. We know what he's able to do to fake out base runners. Runner at first, nobody out. Up comes number 24, Conor Jernigan. First pitch, and Villa's taking off for second. And he can't slide around the tag. He's out. What a strange steal attempt. It was a delayed attempt, and I feel like that's because of, again, the lefty pitcher. You can't show go right away because the pitcher's staring right at you. But, boy, that is yet another leadoff base runner taken right off the base paths as Jernigan takes strike 1. I mean, if you're Brookline at this point, what are you supposed to do? This is the 3rd straight inning that a runner has reached first base only to end up out on the base paths as Jernigan takes ball 2. 2-1 pitch, and Jernigan skies this one into the outfield. Should be a can of corn for the center fielder, and indeed it will be. I was so flummoxed by that steal attempt, I forgot to mark the first out, but now it's 2 outs. And up comes the right fielder, number 20, Harrison Siegel. Siegel golfs it foul for strike 1. Siegel, his last time up, he led off the second inning with a single to left, but then he was the first victim of Charlie Morris's pickoff moves. A 1 pitch. Curves in there for strike 2. Oh, 2 pitch, skips in the dirt, ball 1. And this pitch is sliced foul. It's going to stay in play. Harrell tracking it. No, it's not going to stay in play. The diagonal portion of the cage allows Siegel to stay alive. 1-2 remains the count. Now this pitch is also sliced foul. Siegel continues to battle at 1-2. One-two pitch again. This time Siegel makes contact. It's grounder, fielded by Londay, thrown to first. He made it! Another infield single for Brookline. That is the second infield single of this inning, as Siegel was hustling down to the bag, actually tripped over it, but just barely beat the throw from Londay. Runner at first now with 2 down. Up comes the center fielder, number 18, Matt Richardson. First pitch is low for ball 1. You can see Siegel still trying to dance off the bag, but as Morris goes into his motion, he starts leaning towards first. As that one is in there for strike 1. Richardson, his last time up, he made some good contact, but it was right at the center fielder for an out. He now faces a 1-1 count with 2 down. And this time he hits a grounder over to third. Londay fields it, throws to first, and Wong hauls it in. They couldn't get a third infield single to third, and instead that will end the 4th inning. Through 4, the score: Newton South 4, Brookline 0. Now in the middle of the 4th intermission, I'd like to take a moment to tell you about a local charity trying to do some good for the community, and that is the Brookline Food Pantry. The Brookline Food Pantry provides groceries to Brookline residents in need of food assistance. The pantry saw a huge increase in demand for food assistance at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, and that number, unfortunately, has not gone back down. Since March of 2020, the food pantry has served an average of 650 to 700 households each week, more than 4 times the rate of families served pre-COVID. The Brookline Food Pantry is fighting the good fight to end hunger in our community, and they're always looking for more people willing to lend a hand, whether through monetary donations, direct food donations, or volunteers in the pantry. Food donations can be made at United Parish Church at 210 Harvard Street in Brookline on Wednesdays from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and on Fridays from 9:30 a.m. to noon. Visit brooklinefoodpantry.org or call 617-800-5339 for more information about how you can help feed your community. Once again, brooklinefoodpantry.org or call 617-800-5339. It'll be the 2, 3, 4 hitters, Feldman, Londay, and Valente, due up here in the 5th. First pitch to Valente is strike 1. Reminder, as always, that you can find out information about our local charity spotlight, Brookline Food Pantry, and our paying sponsor, Harvest Wealth Management, in the description section below, as Feldman fouls this one to the right side for strike 2. Feldman, his last time up, of course, he was right in the middle of that big third-inning rally. He had a bunt single of his own and later came in to score on a sacrifice fly by Valente. Nice curve for strike 3 by Dialchand Erickson as he puts down the first batter quickly. That at-bat was so blinking you might miss it that I almost missed it. Now stepping in is Londay, who got the 2-run hit his last time up. Again, Dialchand Erickson working that curveball to get strike 1. Mixing up his speeds now as he brings the heat that time and forces a fly ball. It's being tracked out and right by Siegel, and he's got out number 2. Again, honestly speaking, Dialchand Erickson has been having a good outing here on the mound as now Ben Valente steps in with 2 down and nobody on here in the top of the 5th. As that first one is in there for a strike. I mean, if we're really talking about it, it feels like Brookline's been out-hitting Newton South, but Newton South has been much craftier on the base paths, and it's made the difference as this one is smacked up the middle. A single to center for Ben Valente. Now up comes the pitcher, number 33, Charlie Morris. And Valente takes off on the first pitch, comes in low for ball 1, and Valente successfully steals second. Dialchand Erickson checks on Valente at second. And that pitch is in there for strike 1. One and one, the count to Morris. His last time up, he struck out. This time he smacks one right at Martell for out number 3. It was a hit and run play. If Martell wasn't there to make the grab, that was another run in. Instead, it's the end of the inning. We head to the bottom of the 5th. The score through 4.5. Newton South 4, Brookline 0. Due up for Brookline are going to be the 7, 8, 9 hitters, Dialchand Erickson, Martell, and Levin. Dialchand Erickson, his last time up, he got the first of a number of infield singles we've seen from both teams so far. His was the first as he legged out a single to the shortstop. He would ultimately be stranded at first in the second inning. As Martell in his first at bat popped out to short. To end the bottom of the second. Levin, who's in the hole to start this inning, he grounded out to third to lead off the bottom of the third. So as Morris comes out for his fifth inning of work, he now faces James Dialchand Erickson. First pitch is a dribbler down the third base side, foul for strike one. It's been such a wild pitching outing for Morris. Literally no strikeouts, no walks, no hit by pitches. Every single batter has put the ball in play for Brookline so far. As this one comes in low for ball one. And he's given up at least one hit every single inning. And yet he's got a shutout going here in the fifth. The 1-1 pitch, and this one is sliced foul and out of play for strike two. And again, such a large part of that has been his ability to contain the Brookline base runners. One-two pitch, and Dialchand Erickson reaches out and pops it up, and it's caught by Wong for out number one. It's just such a reversal of how Valente and Murphy kept the Brookline hitters down back on opening day. Like I said, 15 strikeouts between those two pitchers and just 2 base hits for Brookline. Now as Jack Martell steps in, he checks his swing, and that'll be ball one. It's just been such a wildly different game. No strikeouts, a number of base hits, and yet no runs to show for it. The 1-0 pitch. That one also misses for ball two. Wind gusting a bit here at Warren. My apologies for the shaky camera as a result. 2-0 pitch. That one also misses just outside for ball three. A 3-0 count to Martell. That pitch in there for strike one. Three-one pitch, and Martell might have got a piece of that, but either way, that's strike two. Morris trying to battle back from a 3-0 count here against Martell. Count is full with one out and the base is empty. Morris steps off the rubber for a bit. And Martell stepped out of the box. He now steps back in, and they both look ready. Or I guess not, as Morris, I don't know. Maybe his hand was feeling weird or something. Strange pause. Now here comes the payoff pitch. And Martell cracks the bat and sends it foul to the left field side. He stays alive at 3-2. Another payoff pitch, and that one comes in high. First walk of the day for Morris, and Martell's first time this season reaching base safely. He now stands at first, which is, against this pitcher, still a very precarious place to be. One out, runner at first, and up comes number 16, Jake Levin. That pitch is in there for strike one to Levin. Levin 0 for 1. He grounded out to third to lead off the bottom of the third. Throw back to first, and Martell dives back. He gave kind of a head fake on Morris. You know, it's interesting, Martell, the senior co-captain and a regular starting pitcher, you wonder if maybe he understands the head of a pitcher a little more, as this one is whiffed by Levin for strike two. (0-2) is the count to Levin, one out, runner at first. And a throw back to first, but Martell read it easily. (0-2) pitch, and Levin skies it out to left. This should be a can of corn for the left fielder, and it is. That'll be out number 2. We now cycle back to the top of the order with number 5, Keenan Sawada. 2 down, runner still at first. First pitch is high for ball 1. And I know my camera can't capture everything with the angle I've got, but the staring contest that is going on between Morris and Martell every time Martell leads off from first. As this pitch comes in inside for ball 2 to Sawada. Sawada, his last time up, a hard hit ball skipped past the first baseman, and he got to first safely, but he was picked off at first. As this pitch is in there for strike 1. Sawada has reached base safely in each of his first 2 at-bats. As now that off-speed pitch comes in for strike 2. Again, Morris not bringing the fastest of pitches, but bringing some nifty movement and just keeping the Brookline hitters off balance. 2-2, the count to Sawada. And that pitch comes in high for ball 3. Two down, runner at first. Full count here in the bottom of the 5th. Quick throw back to first. As again, the mind games between Morris and Martell. Payoff pitch, runner goes, and Sawada fouls off to stay alive. Again, the hesitation on some of these swings. It feels like the Brookline hitters never quite know exactly where that ball's going to go, and so they have to swing so defensively against it. Count is still full. Martell simply taking off, and they're just letting him go as that pitch comes in the dirt for ball 4. And so that is going to put runners at first and second. 2 base runners on at the same time for the first time today for the Warriors. 2 down, runners at first and second. And up comes the first baseman, number 10, Eli Rothman. For the first time, the pickoff not really a threat at first base, as Sawada not the lead runner. First pitch in there for a strike. Rothman, his last time up, he flew out to left to end the 3rd inning. He is 0 for 2 so far with a ground out and a fly out. 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, and that's going to be strike 2. Rothman in the hole early. Oh and 2, 2 outs. Runners at first and second here in the bottom of the 5th. 0-2 pitch, and that hits Rothman. A hit by pitch, and now the bases are loaded. High pressure situation here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The tying run is technically at the plate. Feels a long way away from a potential tie game for Brookline as they trail 4-0. And there are 2 outs in the inning, but the bases are loaded for number 7, Daniel Villa. First pitch, he makes contact, but he fouls it down the third base side, strike 1. Villa, his last time up, he legged out an infield single to third, but got caught stealing second. Before that, he grounded out to the pitcher back in the 1st. And I think the umpire was issuing a warning to Martell because he was clapping from the 3rd baseline. Not sure. But either way, the count is 0-1. Pitch. Villa skies this one out to left center, but it's right at the center fielder, and that's going to end the inning. A brief moment of excitement ultimately ends in all bases being left stranded as Brookline ends the 5th inning with no score. Through 5, the score remains Newton South 4, Brookline 0. In the midst of this 5th intermission, I am once again happy to say that this broadcast is brought to you in part by Harvest Wealth Management of Needham, Massachusetts. Harvest Wealth Management is a full-service financial planning firm. They specialize in helping families with college-bound children maximize their financial aid and utilize other tax-driven strategies to reduce college costs. For many families in the middle class today, it is impossible to save enough for their children's college education. But Harvest Wealth Management believes it is not about saving more for college, but paying less. They can design a customized college funding strategy for your child and lead you through the financial aid process, which can be confusing and where mistakes can be costly. So don't stress. Call Oliver Shawley at Harvest Wealth Management, 781-902-0981, or go online at harvestwm.com to learn more. Again, 781-902-0981 or harvestwm.com. Advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, a registered investment advisor. We start the top of the 6th inning now. First pitch is going to be ball 1. At the plate, this is Wesley Rivers. Whoops, I was typing on the wrong thing. As that is going to be in there for strike one. Slightly delayed call. One and one. And this one is skied into shallow right. Siegel is tracking it, and he's got it for out number one. With one out now, I remind you, you can always check out the description section of this video for all the information you need about our paying sponsor, Harvest Wealth Management, or our local charity spotlight, Brookline Food Pantry. As Jackson Harild steps to the plate for Newton South. Hard hit on that first one, somehow snagged by Martell. He's going to throw it. He beats him. How did Martell track that one? Martell's had a hot glove at the shortstop position today. He's made a couple of really nice plays. As that one will be marked as a simple 6-3 ground out for the second out of the inning. Looks like we've got a pinch hitter coming up now, and indeed this will be number 9, Arlo Cohen. He'll be batting in place of Matt Blanusa. First pitch inside for ball one. 1-0 the count, 2 down here on the top of the 6th. Big swing and a miss for strike one. Remember, if you're enjoying the broadcast, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. 1-1 pitch, another swing and a miss for Cohen, strike two. And of course, if you've got anything to say about the game you're watching right here, feel free to say it in the live chat. 1-2 pitch comes in outside for ball two. And that one's in there for strike three. Dialch and Erickson puts them down in order quick to end the top of the 6th. We head into the bottom 6th, and it is still a 4-0 Newton South lead, as Morris coming back out for a 6th inning of work, and why wouldn't he? Like I said, despite no strikeouts, despite allowing several base runners, he's kept the runs off the board. Let's try and tally this up so far. Brookline had 1 base runner in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 3 in the fifth. So that's 9 runners have reached first base for Brookline in this game. None of them have gone home. And I believe 3 of them have been thrown out on the base paths. Yes, 3 of them thrown out on the base paths. It'll be the 4, 5, 6 hitters due up for Brookline. Jernigan, Siegel, and Richardson. Of course, Brookline almost able to put some runs on the board last inning. Loaded the bases with 2 outs with a pair of walks and a hit by pitch. But then some good contact from Villa, just in the wrong place. First pitch to Jernigan misses for ball one. This pitch a big swing and miss for strike one. Jernigan, his last time up, he flew out to center. And before that, he lined out to third to end the first inning. 1-1 pitch, another big swing and a miss. Again, the off-speed movement of Morris's pitches keeps the Brookline hitters off balance. And he catches him chasing it low for strike three. First strikeout of the day for Charlie Morris comes in the 6th inning of what is so far a shutout effort. Now up is number 20, Harrison Siegel. First pitch to him misses outside, ball one. One-0 pitch, delayed swing, way off balance for strike one. Siegel, his last time up, he legged out an infield single to third, and before that, he had a single to left. He is 2 for 2 so far today, as this one comes in high and bounces off the umpire's head. And he's just going to walk that off for a second. I feel like that pitch was maybe supposed to dip, and that's why the catcher's glove was beneath it. I don't know. That was... We've seen a number of funny-looking kind of pitches coming from Morris today, and that one feels like one that was supposed to curve but just sort of hung. 2-1, the count to Siegel. This one fouled to the backstop for strike two. Two-two pitch, skips in the dirt for ball three. Full count, 1 out, bases empty here in the bottom of the 6th. And this one is reached out and fouled off by Siegel, and he stays alive with a full count. Payoff pitch, catches him swinging. After no strikeouts through 5 innings of work, Morris opens the second with back-to-back Ks. You wonder if maybe the frustration of the past 5 innings are starting to catch up to the Brookline hitters, as Richardson is caught chasing another low-dipping off-speed pitch. The 0-1 pitch comes in high for ball one. Richardson, his last time up, he grounded out to third to end the 4th inning. He also flew out to center back in the 2nd, still looking for his first hit. As this one misses outside for ball two. Two-one pitch. That one is in there for strike two. 2-2, 2 down, bases empty here in the bottom of the 6th. Morris with the pitch. And that one just misses, ball 3. Payoff pitch. And he gets him chasing, but he somehow got a piece of it. Richardson scooped that curveball off the dirt for a foul ball, basically. And he's probably kicking himself for not taking ball 4 on that one. Another payoff pitch. And he checks the swing. And he gets to trot down to first. They do check with the first base umpire. And he confirms Richardson did not go. So Richardson goes down to first with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. And again, still no innings without a base runner for Morris so far, as James Derrickson steps to the plate with 2 down and a runner at first. First one in there for strike 1. Derrickson, his last time up, popped out to first to lead off the 5th inning. Now this pitch skips in low for ball 1. One and one the count. And that pitch misses just low, ball 2. This pitch, it's a hard grounder, chased down by Londay, thrown to first, and that's going to be out number 3. That brings an end to the bottom of the 6th inning. Through 6 with 1 inning left to play. The score, Newton South 4, Brookline 0. With the top of the 7th coming around, it'll be the 9-1-2 hitters due up for Newton South, Murphy, Adams, and Feldman. Of course, those are the guys who loaded the bases for that big rally back in the 3rd. And outside of that perfectly executed play of small ball back in the 3rd, outside of that, it's been a 1-0 ball game. I mean, this has been, for the most part, a pretty big pitcher's duel between Derrickson and Morris. But you wouldn't guess it looking at the score. But again, at the high school level, games can be won and lost on the base paths. And we've seen this game both be won and lost on the base paths. Newton South taking advantage of their speed to get runners in the best position to score, and then scoring when the opportunity strikes. Meanwhile, Brookline's base runners, outside of the 1st inning, like no one's been able to take that extra base off a steal, and a number of runners have even been caught between the bags. Leading off for Newton South here on the top of the 7th, number 13, Conor Murphy. A check swing, bloop into right, and that's going to drop fair. Siegel chases it down, rifles it back into the infield, but Murphy has got a check swing single to right. Conor Murphy has had two of the weirdest hits so far today. Of course, he had that weird high bouncer off the mound back in the third, and now he's got a check swing single, and he now checks out for a pinch runner, and that is number 34, who is not on my roster. So unfortunately, I cannot identify the runner as John Adams steps up to the plate, with a runner at first now and nobody out. Throw back to first. Oh, so close to a pickoff, but didn't quite get him in time. You could tell Rothman wanted that call so badly. It's like, come on, they've been picking us off all day. Just let us have one. Now the pitch comes in high for ball one. Adams showing bunt. And we know he's got wheels. He's legged out a bunt single once already today, and the pinch runner wound up at second. What, did they call a balk? What happened? Boy, you look down to enter things into your scoreboard a bit, and you miss things. Now he turns around, doesn't make a throw. Shows bunt, pops a bunt, foul. So if that first pitch was called a balk, then the pitch wouldn't count and the count will just be 0-1. But I'm not entirely sure, so I've still got it at 1-1. Again, my apologies for the confusion. Just kind of missed something. Adams still showing bunt, and they caught the runner. They caught him between the bags. Martell chasing, throwing over to third. Number 34 still tracking it. Toss over to Sawada. Sawada now chasing after him. And he tags him. So for once, Brookline gets the pickoff on the base paths. Now no runners on and one out. A 1-1 count, I think, to Adams. Again, depends on what that call was. Pitch, swing and a miss. That's going to be strike two. Reaches out and bloops one right to the glove of Martell. Two down now. And up comes Jacob Feldman. And he swings and slices that one foul to left field. That'll be strike one. A 1 pitch comes in outside, ball one. Feldman, his last time up, he struck out to lead off the top of the fifth. Now a 1-1 count with two down and nobody on. This one skips in the dirt for ball two. This pitch comes in low for ball three. 3-1 pitch. Comes in high, and that's going to be ball 4. Feldman takes the free pass to first. And up comes number 3, Henry Londay. Feldman taking the lead off from first. And he takes off. Ball comes in low, and Feldman slides in safely. And again, you can see the difference that being able to run makes, as this is far from the first time that Newton South has been able to follow up a base runner with an immediate base runner in scoring position, as that was ball 2 to Londay. Two 2-0 the count, runner at second with 2 down. Pitch is a hard grounder foul down the first base line. Dalton Erickson checks on the runner. 2-1 pitch, and he skies this one out to center. Richardson has it for out number 3. Dalton Erickson pitches all 7 innings. And Brookline has one last chance to try and get back in it. The bottom of the 7th coming up. The 8-9-1 hitters for Brookline, Martell, Levin, and Sawada. Charlie Morris back out on the mound for inning number 7. Trying to complete the complete game shutout. We had our first comment in the live chat a little while ago from Jedi Pete. Let's go Brookline, time for a rally. And Brookline almost out of time for a rally. They put together a bit of one in the 5th inning. 2 walks and a hit by pitch, loaded the bases with 2 outs before a line out to center stranded all 3 runners. Leading off for Brookline will be number 6, Jack Martell. First pitch is in there for strike 1. Martell actually got that 5th inning rally started with a walk, his first time reaching base this season. And that's strike 2. A quick 0-2 count from Morris. And this pitch skips in the dirt for ball 1. Martell would not be fooled. and it'll be a 1-2 count. One-two pitch. Misses outside, ball 2. Two-two pitch, and he catches him chasing that time. And they throw down to first for the formality, and that will be out number 1. Again, a couple quick strikes. You get the batter on their heels. And just like that, they got to swing defensively, and you can make them swing at anything. Now up, number 16, Jake Levin. First pitch, and he hits a grounder over to short, picked up by Feldman, thrown to first, and that'll be out number 2. Just like that, Brookline down to their last out. Last hope for Brookline is number 5, Keenan Sawada. Morris trying to have his first inning with no base runners at all, as Sawada swings. It's a high hopper, picked up by Feldman, thrown to first, and that will end the ball game. The final score here at Warren Field: the Newton South High Lions 4, the Brookline High Warriors 3. The Brookline High Warriors 0. I don't know where that 3 came from. 4-0 is the final score. And really, hats off to both pitchers. James Dielchin-Derrickson for Brookline, although he takes the loss. And of course, Charlie Morris with the complete game shutout for the win. Again, the game really a perfect examination of the impact that base running has at the high school level. This game was won and lost on the base paths. It's that simple. Top of the first, Newton South went up and down in order. Bottom of the first, Brookline got a leadoff single from Keenan Sawada. He went all the way to third but got stranded there. No runs. Top of the second, Charlie Morris drew a 1-out walk, stole both second and third, in part thanks to a juggled pitch by the catcher, then came in to score on a wild pitch. That made it a 1-0 ball game. Then in the bottom of the second, Brookline led off with a base hit, but then the runner was picked off at first base by Charlie Morris. Brookline would get a second hit later that inning, but that runner would be stranded at first. So at this point, through 2 innings, Brookline had 3 hits. Newton South had 0, but Newton South was up 1-0. Again, just to exemplify. And then the top of the third was where things got really crazy. Conor Murphy led off with that weird high bouncer off the mound. That got him to first. Then John Adams and Jacob Feldman, both probably going for the sacrifice bunt, ended up getting clean bunt singles to load the bases for Henry Londay, who hit a hard single up the middle and into right center, driving in both Murphy and Adams. Ben Valente got a sacrifice fly to center field to drive in Feldman, and that made it 4-0. That would end the scoring for both sides. Brookline got another runner on base, either from a single or an error. Again, depends on how you score it in the bottom of the third, but it didn't matter because the runner was picked off. Top of the fourth, Newton South got 1 hit, but the runner was stranded. Bottom of the fourth, Brookline led off with an infield single, but the runner was caught stealing second. And while they got a second base hit later that inning, that runner was stranded at first. You're sensing a pattern here. Top of the fifth, Newton South got a single and a steal of second, but the runner was stranded at second. Bottom of the fifth, Brookline started to put its own rally together. A 1-out walk followed by a 2-out walk and a 2-out hit by pitch, loaded the bases, but then a shot to left center was within the range of the center fielder to end the inning and leave the bases stranded. Top of the 6th, Newton South went down in order. Bottom 6th, Brookline drew a 2-out walk, but the runner was stranded at first. Top of the 7th, Newton South got a leadoff hit, brought in a pinch runner who went to second for some reason I kind of missed, but then Brookline got their first picking off the pinch runner at second. Newton South would later get a walk and another steal of second base, but that runner would be stranded at second. And then in the bottom of the 2nd, for the first time, Brookline got no base runners as they went down 1-2-3 to end the ball game. So that is going to wrap things up here at Warren Field. 4-0 the final score in favor of Newton South. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to check out the description section of this video for information about our sponsor for today, Harvest Wealth Management. Find out how they can help you plan the finances for your child going off to college. You can also find the information about our local charity spotlight, Brookline Food Pantry. Find out how you can help feed your community today, whether it be through monetary donations, food donations, or volunteering in the pantry. And as always, be sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed the broadcast. Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. There's plenty of spring season left, and I'm looking forward to streaming plenty more of it. If you got anything you want to say after the stream is ended, feel free to leave it in the comments section. But that is going to do it. From Warren Field, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Your final score, Newton South 4, Brookline 0. We'll be back to proper 4:30 games next week after the end of spring break. But for now, enjoy the rest of the day and enjoy the rest of the spring break. Thank you for watching.